want to bring in Lance Ippolito, head trader at the Future of Wealth. Lance, great as always to have you on. The market certainly was a bit of a roller coaster ride last week. Do you expect the volatility will continue this week?
I do, especially with earnings season really kicking off. We saw Netflix last week report and really bad numbers. They blamed the people staying at home for bad numbers, which was shocking, and then announced the buyback. So it's really no longer a growth stock. But every time we get into earnings season, volatility usually picks up because of the unknown of the earnings results. And then, especially with Tesla reporting tonight, that should put a major impact on especially the growth stocks.
Well, what are you expecting from Tesla this afternoon?
Elon Musk is a trickster. I I really do think though that they come out with good numbers, and I'm not saying the stock's going to rally 20% and we print $1,000 by end of the month, but you know, looking at Elon Musk, he's scheduled for SNL, I believe, on May 8th, and if I'm a CEO and I know I have to do an earnings conference call right before the SNL appearance, I'm pretty confident that my numbers are going to be pretty good going into earnings, and that I'm going to be proud of the company. So I think Tesla's going to get a pass, and I am curious to see if they talk about their crypto investment into Bitcoin as well.
That's so interesting that you're kind of reading into the SNL gig that the earnings is going to probably be a pretty strong one. Do you think, on this note, that potentially anything he does on SNL has the potential to either move the price of Bitcoin or crypto, or even the price of Tesla shares?
As crazy as it is, and to think about, could that move a stock? The answer is yes, yes, and even more yes. I mean, we saw what just a tweet about Dogecoin or Dogcoin, however you say it, has moved that asset class, if that's what it's called. And we saw in previous months how just a mention of his Twitter moved the price of Bitcoin. So, I actually do. I mean, we could go into, expectations of what deliveries are going to be and projections of China growth for Tesla, but I mean, I don't think that's even a major thing. This quarter, as crazy as it sounds, or dare we talk about the competition and the EV market, but it's going to be interesting. And he seems to be in really good spirits lately. Has some late night tweets and SNL appearance, so should be entertaining to say the least.
Yes, we will all certainly be watching, at least here at Cheddar. There's plenty of other earnings this week as well. So let's start. We've got Facebook, Amazon, Alphabet, the parent of Google company, of Google. Your thoughts? Any expectations?
Google came out last quarter and blew expectations out. They crushed it. The stock had a double than greater market makers implied move. So basically, the stock exceeded what the Wall Street, the market makers thought on Wall Street, and the stock soared to new highs. And that's been, I mean, an incredible strong chart. You really have to thank YouTube. I doubt Google will say the pandemic has hindered the YouTube views. Ever since they bought that company, that's just been a great asset for Google. I'm also looking at Amazon because Amazon hasn't done anything in, almost a year. The stock's just been sideways. Bezos stepped down, new CEO, and I really want to see, is Amazon if they're ever going to split up the stock, right? Because right now, hardly any retail investors can get an Amazon stock unless you do fractional shares. But I'm also interested to see, is Amazon going to accept or talk about the crypto space? That could be another driver. If they start accepting cryptos, that could send the stock to the next leg higher, dare I say, to the moon.
And it could also send crypto a lot higher. Is that something that you think is realistic that could happen?
It's risk on, right? So if you start having money get put into the crypto market, because we've seen the price of Bitcoin correlate, especially to Nasdaq stocks. So a lot of the growth stocks, Bitcoin goes down, Nasdaq stocks, growth stocks go down, cryptos go up. Usually equities will go higher too. So Wall Street likes the risk. Back in the day, you used to see that with gold, right? Gold would go up, stocks would go down. But now we're all kind of correlated, and it's kind of the new wave of the market. And we started seeing that really at the back end of 2020.
Facebook as well, reporting earnings. Any thoughts there?
I'm an options trader, and we have seen really bullish flow the past few weeks in Facebook. I really can't say anything bad about Facebook, more specifically because of Instagram. I find myself spending more time on there, watching videos on there, messaging on there. I know Apple's hinted at maybe they'll compete with Facebook Messenger and stuff, but I think Facebook, thanks to Instagram's gonna blow estimates out the quarter. So I'm pretty bullish, as crazy as these stocks have ran so much, especially off the March 2020 lows. I mean, if you look at companies that have already reported earnings, we've had some really good earnings out so far. So I think Facebook, thanks to the Instagram growth and just really the amount of time being spent on there, obviously, people still working at home and more on their phones. I think it's going to help.
It's funny you say that because I was looking at Instagram in bed the other day, and my husband looked over and he's like, "You will get so much back in your life if you just stop looking at Instagram." He's like, "You'd get so much time back." And I just said, "I can't. I'm already addicted. The pandemic has absolutely made me addicted to Instagram. I can't even help it." And just lastly, the Fed is going to be meeting tomorrow. Anything that you think is going to come of that, or just more of the same?
The Fed has become watching paint dry. They you know they used to kind of be entertaining, especially when you had Yellen out in office. The Fed, they are so stuck to their ways. I don't see anything coming that's going to change anything that they said before. Maybe they'll talk about inflation, how there's no inflation yet. My house has doubled over the past 3 years, but hey, and Coca-Cola and every commodity company is raising prices because of inflation. But I really don't think the Fed will um, move the markets or spook the markets, or you know they'll stay on the course.
I think we need Jerome Powell to host SNL. Maybe that maybe that'll help spice things up a
I
little
think it
bit.
will get the lowest ratings in SNL history.
That is very likely. All right, Lance Ippolito, head trader at the Future of Wealth. Great insight as always. Thanks so much.